Tanjiro, Zenitsu, his sister, and Inosuke arrive late at the train station and are forced to hop on the train as it leaves. Tanjiro wants to ask Rengoku about the Breath of the Sun, a demon fighting technique that could be only used by a few masters. While Tanjiro had used it on a few occasions, he had not fully mastered it. After they spot Rengoku, Tanjiro asks him about the Dance of Fire, but Rengoku tells him he has never heard of it. He also asks him to contact his father, who would have probably heard of it. He further reveals that he was currently on that train because he wished to kill a demon. He reveals that the demon is in that train, and Tanjiro and his friends are surprised to hear this. One of them, Zenitsu, who is known for being a world-famous scaredy cat, makes a fuss about it. The train's light suddenly goes off, and Rengoku chooses that moment to casually mention that the demon would appear at any moment. Sure enough, a huge demon appears out of nowhere, and the passengers go nuts at the sight of it. The boys get ready to fight, but before they can even assume a proper position, Rengoku demobilizes the demon in one swift move. Later on, the boys are seen sleeping when the train conductor reports the day's events to a blood demon. The demon thanks him for the day's work and sends him to sleep before sending some children to kill the demon slayers. Meanwhile, Rengoku and Tanjiro's squad are seen sleeping when the children invade their sleep with dreams and nightmares. In Tanjiro's dream, he dreams of reuniting with all his family members including Nizoku, who had transformed back into a human. Meanwhile, Zenitsu dreams of a flourishing romance story with Nizuku, Tanjiro's sister. Yeah, right. Dream on, brother, if Tanjiro doesn't kill you first. And up next on the If Only Wishes Were Horses list is Inosuke, who dreams about being the leader of their group. Meanwhile, Rengoku has a dream that depicts the actual situation of the demon hunters. In this dream, Rengoku sees some children being starved for days by a blood demon, one of the strongest demons in the world. The children are asked to infiltrate the souls of demon hunters by infiltrating their dreams, after which they would murder them by plunging a knife through their core. In reality, one of the children discovers Rengoku's core and sharpens her knife for the killing. Not so fast, kid. Rengoku grabs the girl in a chokehold and snaps her like a little twig. We later discover that Rengoku's will to live is so strong that he can fight in his sleep. Talk about the not-so-gentle art of sleep fighting. Next up is Tanjiro, who carries on living a normal life with his family. He is sent to the river to fetch some water one day, when his subconscious self suddenly drags him underwater and tells him to fight and save himself. Tanjiro realizes that he is living in a dream, but not in a good way, so he wonders about how to break the spell. Luckily for him, his sister Nizuku wakes up from her hibernation mode and tries waking her brother, but Tanjiro doesn't wake up. Nizuku comes up with a foolproof method of saving her brother and uses her demonic flames to saute him like barbecue. Nizuku's flames are so hot that they burn his binds to crimson, and for a second Tanjiro jolts from his sleep. After he falls back into the dream world, the boy who was sent to kill him is seen wandering around Tanjiro's heart, and he is so touched by how beautiful it is that he gives up on killing him. While Tanjiro tries to figure out a way to return to reality, he encounters his father, who tells him to kill himself in his dream to jerk back to reality. Tanjiro hesitates as he believes that this is another plot twist in his never-ending dream, but he soon realizes that his father's spirit was actually trying to help him, and he hearkens to his word. Tanjiro wakes up to the powerful stench of a blood demon and climbs out of the train to investigate it. Meanwhile, a girl is seen walking within Inosuke's heart while searching for his core, but she gets frustrated and she is unable to find his core. Unsurprisingly, Inosuke is not fooled by his imagination, and he finds the little girl and eliminates her. Meanwhile, Zenitsu is seen enjoying a wonderful date with Nizoku, Tanjiro's sister. This guy doesn't know when to stop, does he? Zenitsu's proposed killer suddenly appears and interrupts their date. Zenitsu, the world's biggest scaredy cat, is so angry that he slaughters the boy in a few quick moves, which aids him in breaking his binds. While this occurs, Tanjiro walks out to see a blood demon on the train. The demon insults him and his hopes of converting his demon sister into a normal human. Tanjiro is so pained by his comments that he dislodged the demon's head from its neck. Phew, that was too easy, Tanjiro thought to himself. Well, it turns out that he was getting ahead of himself, because just then the demon went zombie mode and turned into a huge blubbering mess. Do you think I would die just because you slashed my neck? The demon asked mockingly. Yes, obviously. I literally ripped your head off your neck. The demon reveals that he had joined his body with the train, therefore the whole train was a demon, and he's unstoppable. Tanjiro displays award-worthy swordsmanship skills as he attacks the demon, but his punches appear to be nothing but a cool breeze as they have no effect on his opponent. Inosuke comes charging in at that moment, and their swords dance in an arc of fire, lightning, and ice. Finally, Rengoku wakes up and hits the demon with a binding arc of fire, taking out half of the train while leaving the demon in a much weaker state. He orders Inosuke and Tanjiro to kill the demon by finding its neck and slashing, since it was sure to be the weakest point. The trio manages to decapitate the demon with a few slashes of their sword, but after Inosuke and Tanjiro find its neck, the demon counterattacks by throwing Tanjiro into a sleep spell, but Tanjiro kills himself and reawakens again. The demon does this continuously until Tanjiro almost takes off his head. But luckily for him, Inosuke steps in and tells him not to let the demon's words get to him. He also asks Tanjiro not to confuse his dreams with reality, which is why we got Demon Slayer Season 3. Thanks, Inosuke. Because Inosuke wears a mask, he escapes the numerous sleep spells that the demon throws his way. Tanjiro manages to get a grip on reality, and he overpowers the demon with Inosuke's help. He also manages to send the last blow that obliterates the demon, but it leaves him weak for moments afterward. Rengoku helps Tanjiro speed up the healing process by teaching him a special breathing technique. While Tanjiro recovers, Akaza, another blood demon, arrives and attempts to kill him, but Rengoku protects him. Akaza offers Rengoku a chance to become a blood demon, but Rengoku tells him that he would rather die. The two foes engage in a fierce battle, but while Rengoku manages to take up the demon a couple times, Akaza has the greater advantage as he is immortal and manages to crack the Rengoku's rib and takes out his left eye. Don't ask me how he's still alive. The demon offers Rengoku a last chance to become a demon, but he refuses and imbues himself and his sword with his fire before stating that he would never have any cause to become a demon. Inosuke and Zenitsu are forced to stay put because they cannot interfere in the fight between two legendary foes. Rengoku used his most extraordinary technique to drive his sword into the demon, but the demon changes the direction of the sword at the last minute and we hear a loud explosion. A fog clears up to show that the demon had rammed his hand through Rengoku's chest continuously. He gleefully tells Rengoku that this would surely kill him, and Rengoku recalls how he had promised his mother to protect the weak. Rengoku musters his strength before slashing the demon's neck, and he holds it in place to make sure it doesn't escape. The demon manages to writhe its way out of the chokehold, but Inosuke and Tanjiro attack it. It staggers toward the forest as it's almost dawn and it would easily die from sun exposure to its weakened state, but Tanjiro throws his knife and threats its back. Tanjiro scurries over to Rengoku's side in all but a flurry of emotions, but Rengoku consoles him and asks him to send a message to his father. Before he dies, Rengoku enters a trance where he sees his mother, who tells him that he had protected the weak and fulfilled all his promises to her. He dies, while wearing a proud and sad smile, and Tanjiro and his friends mourn his death. The movie ends as the news of Rengoku's death spreads amongst higher class demon hunters, and the news is received with mixed feelings.